Evening. Couple people are out there. We're glad you're here this evening. We're looking forward to a good evening together. 127. 127. I am so glad that my Father in heaven tells of his love. Jesus loves even me. We're going to sing the first and the last. So glad that my Father in heaven tells of his love in the book he has given. Wonderful things in the Bible I see. This is the dearest that Jesus loves me. I am so glad that Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. I am so glad that Jesus loves me. Jesus loves even me. Oh, if there's only one song I can sing, when in his beauty I see the great King, this shall my song in eternity be. Oh, what a wonder that Jesus loves me. I am so glad that Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. I am so glad that Jesus loves me. Jesus loves even me. Do we have a favorite? 138. Love lifted me. I was sinking deep in sin, far from the deep full shore, very deeply stained within, sinking to rise no more. But the master of the sea heard my despairing cry, from the water lifted me, now am I. Love lifted me, love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me, love lifted me, love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me. Yes, sir. 420. It is no secret what God can do. It is no secret what God can do. What he's done for others, he'll do for you. With arms wide open, he'll pardon you. It is no secret what God can do. Yes, ma'am. 212. I'm surprised. Go tell it on the mountain. We'll do one more and then we have some missionary spotlights after this. Go tell it on the mountain. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. While shepherds kept their watching o'er silent flocks by night, behold, throughout the heavens there shone a holy light. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ Yes, sir. 130. And the last stanza. Oh, okay. The love of God. Stanza number 3, please. Could we with ink the ocean fill, and were the skies of parchment made, where every stalk on earth a quill, and every man a scribe by trade, to write the love of God above, would drain the ocean dry, but can't contain the whole that stretched from sky to sky. Oh, love of God, how rich and pure, how measureless and strong, it shall forevermore endure, the saints and angels' song. Brother Dave.
Good evening, everybody. Let's see, missionary letters. Now, I'm taking over back for this job, and I'm not sure. Did we do the McKittricks 2 weeks ago? Japan? No, we did not. Okay, good. I just didn't want to double up on some missionary here, give them double billing. All righty, the McKittricks, they're in Japan, and they primarily minister to the military, U.S. military, on an Air Force base. But he writes that he had a chance to, or the family had a chance to visit in Osaka, Baptist Church at the Navy base there, and fill in for Pastor Mike Pinson while he was returning to the U.S. for a short trip. And he was interested because he wanted to see how different a U.S. Navy base was from the Air Force base, because it's up to the base commander to make some of the rules for the missionaries that minister on base. And he also was helping other missionaries that are trying to get back to Japan to get back to the places that they minister. And so he said that he made 4 trips to the airport and to Haneda Airport to pick up folks and take them places. And a lot of times this entailed giving them the keys to their car in the parking lot, and then he had to use the transit system to get back home. And he said it was the transit system in Japan, by the way, is very good. And he said it's very different from getting around in rural Virginia. He also had a missions conference with Brother Ed Novato, and I'm not sure who that was. That was another BIMI missionary, military missionary, and he gave they did the conference there in Japan, and they encouraged Faith Promise Missions, likewise as we do here. And then they had, not unlike us, they had their fall festival, their family fall festival, and with it sounded just like ours, in games for the kids and cakewalk, and they made soup for everybody. They had 6 different soups, and they also ministered to the Japanese folks that came by and wanted to see what the event was, and they loaded them up with a ton of American candy as well as gospel tracts and an invitation to their church. Just a for those that are maybe not familiar, American candy is way sweeter than I think most European or Asian candies, and their pop is certain. It's certainly true with their. Well, I guess I can't say pop. Their soda, because I'm in the South, and it's sometimes too sweet for them. We also have an update from my crowd in St. Lucia. That's the Littles, and they were trying to get back up and having services in the face of COVID there, and the government put a restriction that each person needed 36 square feet for distance in their building, so for separation, which meant in their building they would only legally could have 11 people, including the 6 from the Little family. And so that didn't seem feasible, and they prayed about this, and the Lord led them to a nearby Baptist church, and he didn't realize when he planted his church that this church was so close. It's called Liberty Baptist Church, and they have been short of a short of a pastor there. Oh, I missed that, for the last 5 years. And they started to talk to the church, their Liberty Baptist Church, and see if they wanted to merge with their church because they had a much bigger building. And those people have been praying for this to happen for some time. And the Lord was working just this perfectly. So they have formally merged with Liberty Baptist Church, and the Littles, Pastor Little is now the missionary pastor of the combined church. And so they have now the range of Mycoud Village, Tyrocher, Beauchamp, Lecourville, Richebois, and all the surrounding communities that make up the region. So that's exciting. So now they have a larger ministry that they are working with. They asked for a smooth transition, that we would pray for that. I'm sure there's differences in style of services and the way they do things, and that people would have open hearts to get the churches combined and operating in unity. And he says that the cases in St. Lucia for COVID-19 have been increasing, and they think that in this larger new building, they're going to eventually have a cap of 25 people in the building at any one time. So they're going to 2 morning services and the rest of the week on Zoom. They're asking that we would pray, of course, as many other places are, that the vaccines would be available, mitigate the disease, and the restrictions could be lifted. He also noted that the local people, he asked, let me put it the way he put it. He said, pray for softness to tourists. That means foreigners in St. Lucia. Many people local people are calling for the government to shut the island down again, and so that they can't get foreign people, and they would see foreign people, and that would include the Littles, as a danger, and they hesitate to communicate or associate with them. So we would ask the Lord that he would break down those barriers in people's heart. And then finally, I have a letter from, I think they're my favorite missionaries. And if we could cut the sound on this.